Hello, little ones. Would you like to hear a story? I've got one for you. From Rolling with Remix. Long ago, the land of Irion was a land of plenty, and many wanted to lay claim to its riches. When those who lived in Irion could no longer agree on who held what, civil war broke out across the entire realm, until the kobolds, in desperation to keep their kingdom afloat, summoned the dark and terrible Dragotha. The great dragon cared not for the alliances constantly made and broken across Irion, and razed many of its great cities to the ground, until a last desperate alliance finally slew the titanic worm. With no one in any shape to continue the fight, an armistice was reached, and the Great War ended. But tensions were still on the rise. 30 years later, a ragtag group of adventurers, who met at a harvest festival and joined forces to look for the missing mentor of one of their band, were hired by a mysterious old man to travel to the great city-states of Irion and perform acts of heroism that those in power would not approve of. But those same acts served to heighten tensions across the land, and the old man, secretly a scheming mind flayer, revealed that once more Irion had fallen into a great civil war. Now, with militaries and dark powers on the rise, our heroes gather their forces in hopes of saving what they can before Irion once more falls into ruin. Momo, the Aarakocra cleric.
You're my friend. You're my family. And I'll protect you at all costs.
Corellia, the kobold paladin.
I will not make the same mistakes again.
Malifan, the half-elf rogue.
I won't stand idle. Not while people's lives are at stake.
Oh, this should be fun.
Quintessa, the human fighter.
You shouldn't be surprised. Everyone is out for themselves in the end.
And Scam Likely, the goblin artificer.
There are three constants: death, taxes, and my ability to dodge both.
Unprepared though they might be, our heroes find themselves at the front lines of a great battle to save the fallen empires. Last time on Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. The day after Malifan and Quintessa's marriage, Corellian and Momo went to the training ground, where Corellian tried their damnedest to teach Momo to use their gods-given gifts to fight, and maybe not charge into melee, being a very squishy bird. It didn't take, but a fireball did get dropped on the training ground and spook everyone else who was there. Meanwhile, the group went over options that could help Quintessa get into the Feywild, quickly realizing that the options they had were minimal at best. The best they could do was hire on a young halfling trickster cleric named Cade Candlethumb, say their final goodbyes, and wish Quintessa off. However, as Quintessa and Cade headed beyond the walls of Battenrance, they quickly found themselves walking into a blockade made up of the Elven army, and, swiftly after that, captured by Sarata of the Shees and Fey. Meanwhile, back at Battenrance proper, there was a state of alarm as dock workers reported a blockade of Minotaur ships surrounding the port. And, soon after, the discovery that the blockade of elves was moving out into the open position. It had become apparent that Battenrance was under siege. Will the crew at Battenrance be able to hold down the fort long enough for Quintessa to return? Will Quintessa return? And more importantly, where exactly will she end up after being captured by the elves? Find out on tonight's episode of Rolling with Remix, Fallen Empires. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fallen Empires. I am your Dungeon Master, Alex. With me, as always, we have my trusty crew, and let me just tell you, it is good to be back. Joining me today, we have Atlas.
I've missed you all so much.
We have Jojo.
Of all the things that have happened so far this year, this is the best thing that's happened to me.
We have Queen.
Wake up, everyone! Hibernation's over!
We have Scott.
Let's celebrate.
And we have Xander.
Greetings and salutations.
And we have absolutely no one else. This is a regular D&D stream.
Yeah.
Wake
you
up,
can-
everybody! It's time for school.
So as you can probably tell, this is not Roll20. This is Foundry. More specifically, it's Forge, which is the server I use to run Foundry. It's a different virtual tabletop. It's the first time I have run an actual live game on it. But so far, it is a lot less glitchy and crashy than Roll20. So I am keeping it. Not for everything, because it doesn't have card support. Unfortunately, it does not support the Deck of Magic Things or the War Deck, which is a true tragedy of our time. I mean, if you want to give bits, I will never say no to you giving us money.
I mean, we could have someone open Roll20 in the background.
Yeah.
We could,
Too much effort.
but that's effort.
I will take the bullet.
There went. Okay, there she is.
Alright. So, when last we left off, Quintessa had hired the services of a young halfling cleric by the name of Cave Candlethumb, and set off on a journey south to go find a portal to the Feywild to go try and rescue her fiancé, Esgal, from the clutches of the Skeleton King. Unfortunately, quest didn't go so well, because she ran into a blockade of elves that were preparing to lay siege to Batonrance, and was promptly captured. We join her a couple hours later. Quintessa, you have been tied up and left at a table for a couple hours in the middle of a war tent. The tent flap opens up, and inside steps Ravanala, leader of the Shisin Fae.
Cool.
I believe there's art of her. Yes, there is. There's art of her, so I can show the players.
Ah, yay, there she is.
There she be. And for those of you who, for some reason, don't know what Quintessa looks like, there she is.
She's beautiful. Oh, is my makeup, like, gone at this point?
Your makeup is gone at this point. You were dragged through a whole bunch of trees and teleported
Yeah.
around by a psychotic dryad. It is ruined.
Yeah, fair enough.
Alright.
Okay.
So,
Wait, where's cleric friend?
cleric friend's in another tent.
Ah, okay.
Oh, goddammit.
Alright. So, a couple of guards escort Ravanala in. She says something to one of them in Elvish. He nods, goes over, and unties precisely one of your arms, Quintessa. At which point,
Alright.
Ravanala hands over a water skin. Thirsty?
Yeah.
Alright.
Drink it.
You take a drink from the water skin. Ravanala waits for you to finish so that she doesn't, catch you with a talking question in the middle of gulping down water.
Okay.
So, as you have no doubt surmised, Batonrance Hall is under siege by us.
Wonderful.
Indeed. We know that you're building a militia, we know that you have been scouting out the defenses of the elves, but what does not make sense, Quintessa, is why you would abandon the hall and leave everyone else behind.
I am on a different quest now. I haven't abandoned them. They sent me off in goodwill.
Really? What exactly would that
Yes.
quest be, if I would be so bold as to ask?
I don't assume I exactly have the choice in not telling you.
I am asking you very nicely. I am sure that your friend would also be willing to answer us, though Sarat is the one interrogating him, and I don't think she would be quite as gentle.
She said she wouldn't hurt him.
If you cooperated, yes.
Well, it's nothing to do with the elves.
Humor me.
I need to get to the Feywild.
Really?
Yes.
One would think your relationship with the Fae would be incredibly soured. Is this some kind of diplomatic mission to try and salvage what you can, or...?
No.
No. Well, you don't strike me as the type to take trips for pleasure, so I can only assume this is business.
Yes.
Which leads me to one more question. What business would drag a librarian out from the safety of her hall into the Feywild, where they really don't like you?
My fiancé has been imprisoned by the Skeleton King.
Ravanala is quiet. She slightly nods. And you would venture there to bring him back?
Yes.
She says something in Elvish again, the guards nod, and they untie you.
Okay.
Another one heads out of the tent, and Ravanala turns to you. You must understand, I am letting you go out of goodwill. If I find you are going back to the hall to warn your friends, retribution will be swift.
No. I'm not going back until I get Eskel back.
Of course. And I wish you the best of luck in doing so. The guard comes back with a sack containing all the equipment that was previously taken from you.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of tosses it over.
Catches it, kind of looks at Ravanala very warily, but nods, and thank you.
My guards will escort you using some of our fastest horses to the nearest portal. Once you are through, they will return straight to me.
So, are you letting Cade come with me?
Why?
Because I hired him to help me with this.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Normal?
Oh, no! Ravanala shakes her head. As far as I am aware, Cade does not have a fiancé or other lost loved one in the Feywild, so my generosity only extends so far.
I'm paying him money to come with me.
Yes, so you have mentioned.
Ravanala, he's a child, okay?
He's like 34.
He's 16.
You said he was 34. Was he lying to us? I'll get Sarada to get the truth out of him one way or another.
Look, what do you want?
Are you asking from you, or are you asking from the hall in general?
As in, what can I give you for him to come with me?
Frankly, Quintessa, you have nothing that I want that you would be able to give me in your current state.
So what, do you want a favor or something?
Perhaps. If you do manage to return to Baton Rance somehow after your trip to the Feywild, I want you to tell them all to surrender.
I hate you. No, and if I don't?
Quintessa, I don't want their blood on my hands, and if I can resolve this peacefully, I will. But I very much doubt that's going to happen. You've traveled with them long enough to know that's probably not going to happen.
You do know we're enemies of the Oriad now, right?
I know that you have attempted to remain neutral. So far, that has ended up being enemies of everyone. Only so far that can get you, Quintessa.
Fine. I will tell them to surrender. I cannot promise they'll listen to me.
I understand not to expect automatic success. But just know that if you fail, I cannot make any promises for anyone's safety inside the hall. That will be all, he says, standing up, giving a quick nod, and walking off.
Just get me Cade, for fuck's sake.
The guards escort you towards some stables and are already just kind of tying Cade onto one of the horses. Cade looks over at you. Oh, hi! Did the scary tree lady talk to you, too?
No, actually. Are you alright?
I'm fine. She just pried into my nightmares. It was weird.
Oh, sorry. I'll make it up to you, Kate. I'm sorry.
Okay. Ow!
Yeah, that's fine.
And as you fall into a Quintessa panic, you're hoisted up onto one of the horses and ride off. A couple of days ride south, you and Cade are dropped off in front of a glowing portal, flashing emerald green and brilliant hues of yellow and orange. The guards say nothing, just stop right in front of it.
Can we get off?
Yes, you can.
Alright. Well, this is it.
Cade just stares at the portal. I guess it is!
So, still want to do this with me?
Am I still getting paid?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm just saying, if you don't want to, you can.
I really don't
back out
want to.
now.
But now I'm hopelessly lost!
That is true. The other option is you going back there, and that's not a good thing, so.
I would probably die.
Don't say that. We have to be optimistic, Kate.
I would maybe die.
You know, a work in progress, but the point being, thank you for getting us here. Let's just go in the thing.
Alright. The two of you step through the portal. The music stops looping as I start it looping again. Yeah. And as the music starts looping again, we cut to inside the Feywild as we see two travelers, a grim-looking Winter Eladrin, and a much jollier-looking young man on the road, fresh off of their adventures against the Mist Giants. What do they look like, you might ask? Well, I can pull up the images of one of them real quick.
Please grab your hands.
Please grab your hands. We've got this fine Eladrin here with a pretty nasty-looking face, like something bad probably happened to it. As for his friend, let me just scooch this off to the side, scroll back down, and there we go.
He's so small.
I know we're in a hurry, but all I'm saying is that we could at least stop and try and ask for directions somewhere.
Yeah, I thought this place looked familiar. We've passed by that rock so many fucking times now.
Yes, probably about 4 by this point.
Okay, we're gonna have to stop for directions. Is there a tavern nearby by chance?
Well, there's the tavern we're looking for, but hold on. Let me see. I probably have a spell or something I can do this with. And the Winter Eladrin will sort of pause and swing off his pack and start like going through it, doing a little bit of meditation here and there. I mean, we could go. No, hold on. How long would you say we've been on the road again?
Probably about 2 days or so.
He just winces. Oh.
Pretty shitty shortcut, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, gods above, they're gonna murder us when we finally show up, aren't they?
Probably.
Well, do you want to get murdered first or second? Because I know for sure Sybil would be kind enough to ask what we prefer.
Well, it's not all bad. James would probably stop her if she did.
Probably.
And as you debate who's going to get murdered first, you you feel this strange rumbling in the air, and then see this brilliant flash of light as a portal opens above you, and drops in two figures. A human woman with her hair in a ponytail and a bow strapped across her back, and a young halfling cleric. Just whomp, whomp, right on the ground in front of you.
Oh! Ow! Well, nothing broken at least.
I'm okay!
Mace has a longsword pulled already. He's on edge. He has a longsword out.
Pulls bow out into return.
Whoa. Hold on a minute.
Where did you two pop in from?
I'd be more open for conversation if you dropped the sword.
Put down your bow.
You
came
put
on
down
us.
your sword!
Put down your bow.
Kit sort of like taps his shield to make a louder sound so people listen to him. I'm going to count to 3. Both of you put them away. 1,
Okay. Put sword away.
2, 3. Thank you. Just rolls his eyes. Now, a pleasure to meet you. Where did you just pop in from?
Well,
We stepped through a portal and it dropped us on the ground.
what he said. We're from the material plane. I'm hopefully guess and assume we weren't tricked and this is the Feywild?
No, you'd be right.
No. Yep, Feywild.
Good! So we're in the right place at least.
We got good
Seems
directions.
like it.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
At what cost?
Directions?
Where are you headed?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that is a very good question. Give me 2 seconds.
Oh,
Come on, Discord.
well. Kit sort of steps aside and sort of gestures Mason to like come closer, and then like he turns them away, puts like an arm around his shoulder, like a team huddle type thing. Mace, I don't think this is a very good idea.
I mean, they look normal, but
Yes,
You know
they
how
look
they are.
normal, but I think they're even more lost than we are.
do you think it'd be a really bad idea to have them tag along?
Kid sort of like looks over their shoulders back at them, turns back into the group huddle. Well, it can't hurt. Between the two of us, we could probably take them, no problem.
Sure. If anything, we can just drop them off at the tavern when we find it. So
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right. Break.
We break
Sort
from
of.
our little.
Yeah.
Head back over.
Kate has just been staring at you the whole time.
You done?
We were
Sure.
waiting on you as well.
Oh. Yeah, well. Okay, this is going to seem very blunt. I don't suppose you've heard of a Skeleton King, have you?
I mean, who hasn't heard of the Skeleton King?
Right, because it's all a bit new to me. That's where I need to go. We need to go.
I'm getting paid.
He's getting paid, yes.
I sure hope you are. You need to go to the Skeleton King.
You gonna ask him for something, or what?
Well, I would hope a direct introduction would be best avoided from what I've heard, but there's someone I need to get from there.
Oh. You're going to the Skeleton King to steal someone from him. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, it's stupid, but I don't make good decisions.
Well, tell you the truth, you two look like you've been traveling for days straight, and I know we have. We're on our way to a tavern, and if you would like to accompany us, we'd be happy to join forces until at least we get there. Safety in numbers and all that. You can call me Kit, by the way.
Kit.
I'm
And
Kate
I'm Mace.
Candlethumb.
Oh, very good.
I kind of wince when Kate says that, and I'm just like, sorry, do forgive me. I've heard it's not very good to give out your name in the Feywild.
Then you can just call me Mason if you'd like.
Mason. Okay.
I mean, we can just say, "Hey, you," and assume that you'll know we're talking to you.
You can call me Quinn.
Sure, Quinn. Well met.
Right. And this is Cade.
That's my first name. My last name's Candlethumb.
No, Cade, you don't have to. Cade, why don't you just introduce yourself as, I don't know, Candle when you introduce yourself to people?
Candle.
I'm not a candle, though.
But Candle is look, it will keep you safe, okay?
Okay.
All right. Right. We need to establish a new rule, Cade. Sorry,
Okay.
Candle. No running off. Stay by me, except in battle. But then you come back to me. All right?
That sounds very possessive and like an unhealthy relationship.
No. The point being is, I don't want you to get lost. Okay?
Okay.
We only met a couple days ago. Just don't mind him.
Right.
He's getting paid to come with you?
Yes, he's getting paid to come with me. I needed someone to be healing. Okay.
To steal someone from the Skeleton King, and you paid him to come with you.
It was short notice, all right?
Well, we can discuss this at the tavern. I pulled up my directions again, and at this kid opens up like a little notebook that he's been scrawling in, and I am fairly certain that the last left that you insisted was a left was actually a right, so we should be there in no time.
Okay.
Wonderful.
I'll follow in your path this time. You lead the way.
All right.
Indeed. On the way to the Brother Oak Rest.
Cool.
Perfect. Thank you.
Let me just get rid of these art real quick.
But they're so beautiful.
They're so beautiful, and they must die. So you follow Kit's directions instead of Mason's directions, and head through what looks to have been a campground at one point. Though every structure is intact and looks to have been pretty freshly made, there's no traces of anyone actually using it. In the middle of this large campground, there is a massive oak tree, with ladders and wooden platforms mounted along the side, stretching at least 100 feet into the air. An open door has been carved into its side. To the side of the door, there are several wanted posters showing the head of a satyr, with various explosive devices around her face, where explosive devices should not be. And from within the open door, you can see a lot of dancing lights and hear the sounds of revelry. Hearing your approach, a tall, thin elf with green leafy skin leans around the door frame, grinning widely and beckoning you inside.
Ladies first.
Thank you. I should go forward.
Welcome, my slightly rotated friend.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't know why it's doing that either.
I keep trying to straighten it. It's not working.
Hi, resident foundry technician here to tell you what's wrong with your token right now. If you have your token selected and are holding control and then trying to zoom in and out, it rotates your token instead. You just zoom in and out by the scroll wheel. You don't have to hold anything to zoom in and out.
I don't have a scroll wheel. I just have a pad.
Well, then it's your fault and you should feel bad.
I'm trying to control the map and it keeps spiraling that instead. How do I move the map?
Right
I'm just
click
holding
and
right
drag.
click. And
Oh, right click.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, yeah, I come in.
I can spin.
Quick
Hello
question.
there.
Greetings and salutations. You look like you could certainly use the rest that we offer. Please, come inside.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
These laser pointers, I swear.
The laser pointers are amazing.
All right, come on, Candle.
I'm coming. It's hard dragging me around when I'm an NPC. I mean, wait, what? Do you taste copper?
Sometimes.
All right. You step inside the Spring Eladrin, because that is what he is. No point hiding that. Gestures onward towards a huge, massive central area. That is our main gathering hall over there. That's where the majority of the festivities take place. We don't really have tables per se, but that is where the food comes from. So if you are looking for libations, you might want to hang around there and just wait. Oh, speaking of which, he holds up a glowing green orb. If you could all kindly look here, and as you do, as you stare into the orb, you see images appear in your mind, along with text as to how much food and services at the Brother Oak Rest cost.
Frick.
Huh.
Thank you kindly.
Ah, you're welcome.
Well, no time like the present.
All right. I'll just get situated first.
Of course, of course.
So we're allowed to explore.
You are, in fact, allowed to explore the area.
All right. So you said here was the gathering place.
Yes, the massive central area is
Cool.
the gathering
I will
place.
go in there. Let's go.
As you step inside, Cade following shortly after you, you notice that the illumination's coming from a large, glowing flower-like object in the floor, with light shining and dancing across the walls, leading and following scores of dancing fae. They're not on the map because this isn't a combat map and I don't want to bother with that right now. But there are fairies, elves, couple satyrs, some types of fae you don't even recognize. Eladrin and sprites are darting to and fro, carrying food and beverages to those resting and talking at the sides. Most of them look to be off in their own little world, but towards the southern end of the room, there is a single figure in the shape of a robed monk, books at his side, slowly and deliberately taking notes in a journal in his hands.
Wunderbar. I'll look down at Cade. Do you want anything?
I'm really thirsty.
Okay, I can get you a drink if you'd like.
That would be nice.
Cool. Did you bring any money on you, or do you want me to pay?
I mean, you're paying for me already, so, I mean, what's the worst that could happen if you continue to pay for me?
Yeah, you know what? All expenses included. I'll go get you something. What?
No, I'm.
Oh no. Okay. This is
Don't
wonderful.
mind me.
I closed the menu. I don't know how to open it again.
You just stare back into the, hold on. Like, in character, it's staring back into the orb to see the menu. Out of character.
Thank you. Yeah.
Out of
Alright.
character, you can double click it to minimize it, but it can still be there.
Double click it. All right. All right. What do you want then?
Cade stares enraptured into the menu orb. Water would be great.
Just water. All right. How do we get it?
And as you, like, confirm you're getting water, 1 gold suddenly, like, disappears from your pouch and is floating in the middle of the orb.
Yeah.
The orb seems to be waiting to see if you want anything else.
Oh no, that's it.
The orb flies away back towards a back chamber.
Noom. Well,
All right.
efficient.
Yeah. You watch the orb pass by as it darts down the southern passageway. This briefly catches the attention of the robed monk figure, who, like, slowly, like, traces its trajectory back and sees the 4 of you, and gives, like, this wry smile before going back to his journal.
I feel like the astral plane did a bit better, but you know, you can't really complain.
What?
Seconded.
Oh, that's a very, very long story. We've had to
I have
rescue...
no idea what she's talking about.
Candle, please. We've had to rescue, well, me and others have had to rescue many people, and one of which involved the astral plane. That wasn't a very nice time, but the service is very nice.
Sure.
He just looks at Mace and just
Very peculiar.
Just-
Right. Should we get directions?
You know what, that'll be
Yes.
for the best. I can explain everything later. I'm sorry. My mind is everywhere right now.
Oh no, not directions for you. Directions for us, because
Did
yeah,
you
just...
think that we were traveling with you on your skeleton?
No.
errand?
I'm not gonna fuck with the Skeleton King. We got shit to do.
No. I'm sorry. I'm very tired. Okay.
Fair.
Sure.
Well,
Sorry. You can. I'll leave you be. Kate, Candle. Why don't we go and also ask for directions?
My name is Cade now. Okay.
Ah, Christ. You know what? I'm just gonna throw another coin in and just get some milk or something to cool me off.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Okay, I'll get that, and then I'll go off in the corner for a bit and just breathe. She needs to calm down first.
Mm-hmm.
well, Kit sort of shuffles awkwardly. Mace, sorry, you're better in these situations than I am. Would you mind?
Sure. Where exactly are we heading to again?
Well, we are looking for a particular portal. And this is out of character. I don't want to pin down a particular location because that is we haven't.
No,
but
super
basically,
valid.
yeah. But basically, we're looking for the closest portal that will spit us out in the general vicinity of where our friends are awaiting us.
Of course.
So yeah, in character, just assume Kit says the specific area, and we'll tag along with Mace wherever he decides to ask.
Okay. Well, Mace is gonna mace his way across the room to the fella that was who is calling my phone right now. Don't have time. Making it way to the guy who smiled at them before. Is this the fella that smiled at us before?
The
This
only
guy
other
here?
one with the token, yes.
The only other one with the token. Makes sense. Mace walks up and he kind of is he standing at a table or
He is sitting down with a couple of books in his hand, slowly taking notes in a journal. He does look up as you approach, though, because he has noticed you already.
Okay. Yeah, Mace walks up. Hi, do you know this place pretty well?
Know this place? My dear boy, I am one of the people who knows the Feywild better than anyone. You may call me the Story Weaver. Now, I understand if you do not wish to give your name, but might I have something to call you?
Mason.
Mason. And your friend?
Kit, it's a pleasure.
Of course. Now, feel free to take your time. I certainly don't mind the company if you don't mind stories.
Oh, good. So we're
No,
my
don't
friend
mind
and
at
I are
all.
looking. Yeah. My friend and I are looking for a portal that'll spit us back out of the Feywild. Do you happen to know one of nearby?
Nearby? Well, portals to the Feywild are rather fickle beasts. Many spend years trying to find them, many never find them at all. Any particular portals you were looking for, with any destination, rather?
Yes, actually. And Kit will specify the destination that they're looking for.
Ooh. Oh, that is unfortunate. Technically, it is still in the Feywild, but you would be looking in the Fey Dark, and that is not a particularly nice place to be in at this time of the year.
Is it nice at any time of the year?
At any time of the year, no, but it is worse now.
Why now?
Well, this time of the year, that particular portal happens to fall directly into the domain of the head of the Autumn Court. Or one of them, anyway. One of the worst ones that you could find.
Lovely.
Where do you think that'll be? Oh, from here, of course.
Well, from here, there's really no path waking that would get you into the court of the Skeleton King undetected and alive. My condolences. You'd need to get a bit of a larger party if you really wanted to breach the walls of the Skeleton King. You can
just
keep,
sort of
Quintessa, you can hear him talking about the Skeleton King from over here.
Kid just
Yeah,
sort of
I
taps
know.
Mason and is just like, "You want to call her over?"
No, but do I have a choice?
No.
She's already looking over. She's
Oh,
not
good.
being subtle.
First half done. Mason addresses you to come over.
I thought you'd never ask. Comes over.
Oh, how convenient. It seems you have some of them already.
Unfortunately. But
It's not often you stumble into the correct people.
Not often. So, I take it the two of you, the Story Weaver says, pointing to Quintessa and Cade, are also after the Skeleton King.
Yes. Well, not specifically after him. I'm after someone under his captivity, I suppose.
Oh, he says, suddenly perking up. You would dare venture into the realm where the Fae go to die to try and pluck a soul from its undead master. What an interesting story that would be. He stands up. Come, you're going to need more people if you are to get there safely, or relatively safely, I should say. I don't want to spoil too much of the story. Come, come. And he walks up. Now,
Quinn narrows his eyes, saying, spoil too much of the story, just like, what the fuck?
Now, there are a couple of guides you will need. I should mention that usually multiple guides through the Feywild are preferred. One for the mystical and one for the mundane, he says, stepping out from the central chamber directly into a huge pile of gathered pillows and blankets that are currently being hogged by a Tabaxi ranger.
We see him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speak of the devil.
All I'm saying is that we ended up in this book. Wait, no, why are you going up? Come on. Oh, can I help you?
Yes, the Story Weaver clears his throat. These fun young people were looking for some assistance in their travels into the Feydark and the realms of the Skeleton King, Autumn Court and the like.
Is that so? Well, if that's the case, can I have your name, Toots? Oh, and I guess all your other folks, I suppose. Why are you laughing? Is there something on my face? Is it Terry over here? He is kind of a freak. He's kind of a freak.
No, Quinn just kind of blinks and is just like, pleasure. You can just call me Quinn.
Well, I was told to call myself Candle, but that's not my name.
You know your friend there. No, your friend knows you're not supposed to be saying your name out right there, right?
I keep reminding him. Yes.
I didn't say my name. I just said it wasn't my name.
Yes, and I'm very proud of you, Candle. But you don't have to point out the other part.
Lessons lived, lessons learned. You learn something one moment, you forget it the next. You remember it the next day? Maybe. I don't know. Anyways.
And who might you be?
Well, I suppose if we're keeping ourselves secret and hush-hush and all that, I suppose you could call me, Wind. Wind will do.
Wind.
Yep,
All right.
Yep.
Kit and Kit gestures. Mason. Pleasure.
Ah, likewise.
A pleasure for all of us to make your acquaintance, Wind. If you would be so kind as to accompany us while we gather the rest of what is sure to be a hearty crew.
Oh, sure, by all means. Let me get my my drink right here. Wind picks up a bottle of whiskey that he had on his persons, and it's like, all right, lead the way if you so desire and all that jazz.
All right. So, as you pick up your drink, Wind, water and milk get dropped off for Cade and Quintessa, and the pixie that was carrying them flies away immediately.
Lovely.
Yeah. Now,
Downs
As-
it.
Yeah. Now, as I was saying, there are guides of the mundane and guides of the mystical. It helps to have a few people who have wandered the paths of the Fae many times. And he knocks on the door of one of the side guest rooms. Opening the door is a merry-looking satyr.
Perchance, can I help you?
Perchance you can. You see, these fine people were looking for a guide to help them find their way through the Feywild.
A guide, you say? That sounds very interesting, and brought to my very door by the story weaver himself. Well, I have to say that this is most unexpected. Things are a little bit crowded in here, but you're welcome to step inside for but a moment if you'd so desire, lads and lasses.
Of course.
Sure.
Well, I mean, if you're offering.
It's got enough space to have a seat or two, that's all right.
We will be getting one more, though, I should mention.
Well, of course. Shall I be coming alongside then?
If that is what you desire, yes.
I like to consider myself an individual who desires a great deal of things that interest him at any given moment, so that sounds amicable to my tastes.
All right.
Now, the question, though, is if the story weaver himself is knocking at my door, which one of you speaks for the rest? And who is it that I'm to be acquainted with beyond all else?
Goyle over here was the first one to talk.
A Goyle. Ah. Yeah, I'll step out. Kind of survey Quintess up and down. Prime material. It's been a while since one of your lot has walked through this place.
Wonderful. Good to know. My name's Quinn.
Ah, Quinn. I should hope that you're certainly not giving me a full name, because that would be a most foolish endeavor to embark upon.
No, it's all good.
I see. Well, in that case, you're already doing better than most of your ilk that walk through the fairy realms. You can call me Bob.
Bob. A pleasure.
It's a name. A pleasure is all mine, dearie.
Smiles. It's a very sporty
Yeah.
smile.
I call myself Candle in here, but that's not my real name, says Cade, waving to Bob.
I'm going to strangle
Bob,
you.
Bob looks over at Candle and says, "Oh, what is your real name then, lad?"
I was told not to say that.
Ah, smart cookie you are.
He's learning.
Hey.
All right.
Well, I'm happy to tag along while we meet the last member of our little band of ne'er-do-wells, and then I'd love to hear more about whatever it is we're about to embark upon.
Indeed. You have guidance and you have the brawn, but what you need now is knowledge. Luckily, I happen to know of a certain scholar that might be helpful in that regard. Don't mind me, I'm just taking Candle along because it's easier to drag 2 tokens rather than 1. All right. The Story Weaver moves over to the door into another room where you can hear a whole bunch of darts being thrown. Those of you who peer inside see another satyr looking vaguely like the wanted posters outside, throwing darts at more wanted posters of her.
She is disguised as a... She has robes around her. Her hair is all messy in the front, but she's clearly, like, reclining back on a chair and just throwing darts after another, just hitting her nose, her eyes, and even, like, Robin Hooding one of the arrows right on her nose.
Storyweaver knocks on the door.
Oh, shit. Be right there, dearie! She quickly, like, you hear little bits of, like, shit, fuck, and then she opens the door and, like, her hands are shaking. Hello, dearie. How can I help you this evening?
Good evening, my fine young lady, says the Story Weaver, not particularly caring how old you look because he's just that fucking old himself.
he
Mason-
knows who I am.
Mason kind of nudges Kit. That's not an old woman.
Oh shit.
Story
Yeah.
Weaver.
Bob, who's just slightly adjacent to Kit and May, just goes, "Oh, aren't you the perceptive one?"
Story Weaver, it's been too long. How can I help you this fine evening?
It is perhaps not me you can help, but these fine people behind me. You see, they are in need of someone of a particular intellect to help them in a endeavor. A risky endeavor, to be sure, but an endeavor nonetheless.
A risky endeavor? Well, why would you send an old woman like me to go along with these strong, tough adventurers?
Well, I was under the assumption that someone of your peerless mind would find the challenge interesting. If I am wrong, however, that is perfectly fine. I'm sure there are others who are just as smart.
Hold on, dearie. Would you mind going into a bit more detail as to what this guiding trip would be?
The Story Weaver looks
Anyone
around,
else
sees...
anyone else feel like she's saying dearie a little too much? That's kind of my thing.
The Story Weaver looks around, sees that everyone is gathered, and nods. Everyone here is gathered for a mission into the castle of the Skeleton King.
Her eyes like shoot open and her pupils dilate, and she's just, is that so? Well, give me just one moment. And she closes her door, and then you hear more ruckus like, fuck, yes, finally! And then she swings open the door. All right, laddies, where are we off to? Obviously the Skeleton King, but pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Few screws loose.
Told you that wasn't an old
Hey.
woman.
Ooh, I was right about you. You're very perceptive indeed.
Thank you.
You're
Mason
most
not
welcome.
catching your sarcasm.
What's your name, friend?
You can call me
Well-
Mason.
Hey, that I will, Mason.
And you can call me Ro.
Rowan.
No, just Ro. I never said Rowan. Who is Rowan? Who's this Rowan we're talking
Sorry,
Who's Rowan? Who are you
you're
hearing
really
Rowan
quiet
from?
on my end. I thought you said the whole thing.
To be fair, I think it's on the wanted posters we walked by in here.
Yeah.
You're talking about this one right here? Holds up a
It's
poster.
not metagaming if it's set dressing.
Mace, as you hold up the sign, another arrow just goes like straight through the nose of the poster.
You're right. The nose is off.
Thank you! I'm very glad that someone else noticed.
Now, the Brother Oak Rest is neutral ground. There is nothing we can say or do in here that will attract any undue attention. That being said, if you do prefer the illusion of privacy, I am more than happy to accompany you anywhere inside.
Lovely.
The hospitality is graciously noted, Story Weaver.
But
my-
we won't need it if I'm coming along.
My quarters are certainly accommodating for the conversational nature of a burgeoning adventure party. If we'd like to hold discussions over there regarding, well, there's certainly enough time to discover that for ourselves now, isn't there?
Oh yes, plenty.
Quintessa looks like she's on the verge of a brain aneurysm.
But while I am, of course, happy to accommodate in whatever machinations the Story Weaver is getting into with Immortal from the Prime Material, I do have a bit of a finding fee to begin my services with.
You bring up a very good point.
No. I will be the first to say that I'm not interested in matters such as gold or baubles or jewels. But let's say you can get me some bread, or perhaps some cheese, or a scrap of meat from the bar. You cover one expense of that for mine, and we'll call it good.
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh no!
that's
Just her, pointing at Quinn.
yeah, I gathered. Yeah, that's manageable.
Very well.
If that's it, I really only bought enough money to pay points to Cade, him.
He's paying me!
Well, that's good on you there, Candle. I'll be in my chambers, happy to discuss these additional matters further, should you find yourselves in want of relaxation for a moment, to rest your weary boots. And Bob will swagger on back to where he was.
Yeah, Kid will probably just accompany.
Yeah, I'll pay for bread service and then accompany.
Cool. Yeah. Bread service is 2 gold. Cade and the Story Weaver will follow shortly after.
Okay.
And both of these guys, Terry, am I right?
No, not that far down, Jesus.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Make room, make room. There's plenty of space up on the bed and benches. I'll take my payment now, dearie, if you'd be so kind.
Well, whenever it shows up, it
Conveniently, the bread service shows up.
There you go. Enjoy.
Bob takes it, gives a little bow of the head, and then just like tosses it onto the ground right next to a small little like footlocker chest, like a wooden little tiny chest. Just throws the food right in front of the chest. Not in the chest, just right in front of the chest.
Oh no! Oh no! I can see
the chest starts wiggling, and then scoots on closer to the bread.
Oh!
You got a little friend there, don't you?
You've got some interesting luggage.
Oh, ain't he cute? What's his name?
Well, his name's Chester.
Chester, how cute!
See what you did there, very clever.
Hey.
She reaches into her bag and pulls out a whole turkey leg.
Oh, you'll be quick to get on his good side, that you will, but be careful, Chester's taken hands before.
Aye, that hasn't stopped me before. And she gets on, she like squats in front of the chest and like slowly puts the turkey leg in front of it and just watches with pure excitement. She's like, oh, get like.
Chester just continues to feast on whatever is put in front of him.
Yes, wait for that. Now he's eating.
There he goes.
Unlike his older counterpart, you'll find Chester lacks a certain quality, a stickiness that proves inconvenient in other circumstances. He's on the younger side, and Bob just pats the top of the chest a little bit. Carries my belongings pretty well, too.
She nods and like...
If you don't mind a bit of saliva, that is.
So what, if he has something you need, you just chew it and spit it back out or something?
Something like that. That's fairly close to the approximate truth.
That's pretty cool.
Hey, thank you very kindly. So,
Of course.
where are we going, Quinn? I just realized that when Bob says Quinn, I use the Scottish I pronunciation, so it sounds like Quen, which is like, man, okay, we're really keeping the Queen parallel in here tight. Okay, cool.
Yeah!
Quinn.
I was tempted to say call me Queen, but I thought that was a bit too on the nose.
Excellent.
And a bit self-congratulatory, but, well, I need to reach the Skeleton King.
The Skeleton King. Oh, that's certainly a tall order. And I kind of glance over at the Story Weaver and says, what are you planning, old man?
Me?
All right.
Planning? You should know I do not plan, Bob. I merely... He opens a book. I merely tell stories.
Aye, aye. But as we all know, fair Story Weaver, to write a good story, you got to have the rising action, the climax, the falling action. It's the basic creative process.
Anybody else taste copper?
Who needs falling action? Who the hell needs falling action when you've got all the climax?
That I do. I have a work in progress, you might say, if you would be so kind as to hear it.
Go on, we're listening.
Oh, sounds good to me.
Do tell.
Let me tell you the tale of the raid on the Skeleton King. 7 they were who would enter the Castle of Bone to retrieve the souls of those damned by the Fae. But how? Thought they. Well, the front door perhaps was always an option, but not a good one. Stories told spread, and by now surely the king is aware of those who would intrude on his domain. No path waking would lead to anything but death. And so, the tale led towards the Sandman, who treads on paths sleeping. But the Sandman was not a Fey who desired to be found. Fresh off of a job gone bad, he half hid among a house of rest, under the domain of the Autumn Court, enchanted to be far from mortal paths. To find him, the raiders would have to brave the fane of the fallen child, take its timepiece and sail the mists of time, to brave the toxic air, even perhaps to brave the Doom Rider. But they would find him, should they be so brave. As for what they would find in the Castle of Bones, such a story intrigues me. Perhaps architects, those who can build a safe way out. Perhaps they would stalk the ossuary maze. Perhaps they would fight against their very resolve. Perhaps even face down the king himself. And if they did, would they face the Queen of Night and Magic? I look forward to seeing how this story ends. He closes the book. Any questions? By the way, if you missed all that, let me go ahead and copy and paste it into your notes somewhere.
Oh, thank you.
I have a book. Could you write all that down just in case I wasn't taking notes?
I believe I just did.
Oh,
Thank you. I'm not good at doing
certainly, certainly not your best work, Story Weaver, but an intriguing hook nonetheless. Oh, you've caught my attention. I'm intrigued all the same.
Speaking of books, by the way, before I forget, he reaches through and hands over a journal to Quintessa. You flip through it, and it is completely empty.
What is this?
It's good for the spirit.
Ah, I see.
First time outside of the homeland, eh, dearie?
Actually, no, but first time here.
Bit of a Burke then, are you? All right, I see. Well, perhaps present company notwithstanding, you might not know a fair amount about where it is you walk. Perhaps a cursory glance, you strike me as the academia type, but not the one who's lived through, let's say, personal experiences.
You do look like one of them librarian types.
A greenhorn.
Yes.
It's the glasses.
Me and you will get along just fine. And Rose
tweak
like
the
wraps
glasses.
her arm around Quinn's shoulder and just like brings her close. Like, we'll get along just fine.
Just slowly eases off.
Oh, she's already off of her.
I'm an author, yes, and a librarian. Personal experiences have been more and more recently. This Pat's a journal. This'll help. Thank you.
Aye, it's a gift from the Story Weaver. That should be a fine start. But if we're going to be traveling together, then we should set some expectations and certain goalposts out of the gate before we embark out into the great wilds beyond the door of this fine establishment.
Okay.
You can't have
First of all-
expectations for an adventure like this.
First of all, holds up a single finger. I'm your guide. As the Story Weaver can say so deftly, I'm the one who has the most experience with fairy than this lot, and no offense intended to present company, but your old friend Bob is the only actual fairy in attendance of this gathering, friend. They may be fey, pointing at Rowan, but they're not fairies. No
What?
offense intended, dear.
She raises a hand and goes like, you're fine.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Clear.
Good. Then you listen to what I have to say on the matter most of the time, and we'll get along swimmingly. I don't consider myself a stickler by any means. I consider myself to be more of a merry wanderer, and therefore, I'm always in it for a good time and a good journey. So let's just make that clear. That. We
I-
want to get there alive and get back with a good story to tell.
I ain't exactly one for following orders, but as long as you ain't gonna stick to any sort of regimen of any sort, I guess I can do it.
Oh,
Yes.
not at all. Not at all, my feline friend. I've spent my life in the court systems, and I find it rather chafing when it goes against my own interests sometimes. So I'd want to avoid that with a band of free spirits such as yourselves.
See, now you're speaking my language.
I
have to
agree.
That said, let's make sure we got some other things out of the way. First of all, and you've all lapsed onto it pretty quickly, the naming issue. Names have power the world over, more so here in Fairy than the prime material. But you're already doing pretty good about that, so just don't give your name, your true name, or your full name to anybody at all, and you'll do just fine. You'd hate to end up the property of some sort of storybook creature looking for a good meal, or a good, well, we want to keep things PG around here.
Yeah,
Almost.
I understand. I get it.
Aye. But that goes both ways. If you've ever had encounters with the Fae before, you may have some names already, and it's prudent that you don't use them at all, ever. Especially the higher echelons of the court systems, especially the Unseelie. Well, and the Seelie. But the Unseelie, both is good. We'll just say don't do it all over. Let me put it like this. Everyone here has a title, everyone here has a story, everyone here has something that they're known for, and it's better to refer to them by their title name, such as a lord or lady, the Green Lord, the Summer Queen, just to name a few off the top of old Bob's head. But don't use names, ever. It's, how do you say upon your world, taboo?
Yeah.
Let me put it like this, just so we can clear. Let's say that you have a tapestry, a beautiful woven tapestry decorating a fine room full of opulent bubbles and decorations that you are very proud of. Very, very beautiful craftsmanship on that tapestry. And then one day, somebody that you've never met before from the outside world walks onto your tapestry and squats and takes a jaunty little bonnet right on the weaving. Do I make myself clear with that analogy?
I think that is more than clear.
I love this
Absolutely.
dude.
Aye.
Rose is like in the corner, just like leaning against the door, just trying not to burst out laughing.
So just avoid shitting on any rugs and you'll be good.
I understand.
Now, the Skeleton King, moreover, is a part of the Unseelie, if that wasn't obvious enough. You're going to be trifling in the matters of the Unseelie court, a direct underling of the Queen of Night and Magic, so you're already getting tangled in some business, but it's going to be interesting all the same. Just, try not to piss anybody off that you don't plan to piss off or deal with in the aftermath. Also, under no circumstances do you ever stray from the path we make for ourselves. Understand?
Yes, we.
There are many
certainly-
different types of roads in Fairy, many different types of paths, places to travel. But it's important that you never deviate, because there are things in the sidelines waiting to lead you astray. You see a beautiful white stag down in the forest drinking from a glittering creek. Avoid it, don't follow it, ever. 9 times out of 10, it's a trap. The 10th time, it's a good meal, but better on the safe side.
I just side-eyed Cade as all this is being said.
I've had my
And-
experiences with Kelpie before, but never. She like holds up one of her gloves and then bends one of her fingers down to show that the fabric in there is empty.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, what else? I feel like I'm getting to the end here. A couple more things on the list. One, never eat and drink anything a fairy offers you. Ever.
Right.
Ever. An establishment such as this is acceptable because it's on sale. It's a shop. a place of business that you can buy from. But if you walk into the castle of a lord or lady, or any fae for that matter, and you say that, or they ask you if you'd like a drink and they offer you food, don't have it. Refer back to the naming, you'll be their property.
Yeah. Okay.
And last, and most importantly, little lass, never, ever, ever deal with the frogs.
The frogs?
Frogs, aye.
Yes,
They're
frogs.
the worst. The frogs are the worst. Ignore them, avoid them at all costs. Avoid the frogs.
You see her face sink a tiny bit, and it's just like, oh, okay.
Yes. Frogs here will kill you.
Everyone
Or
knows
worse.
that.
Right.
It's basic. It's preschool 101. But, just so we understand it for the newcomer to the Fae. So,
Right.
any questions for Bob, or are we all pretty straight and away on what's going to be happening here?
Ro kind of raises her hand just a tiny bit, like raises one finger. Should we give
Yes.
each other nicknames?
You can call me Bob, or, well, Bob's a name. It's not my name, but it is a name, and it is a name you may refer to me by. But if you want to subscribe some other sort of titles to me, you could call me Bob, Bobbin, Bobby, Nibor. Really, have your pick. You could even call me Horns if you'd like, but I'm not a big fan of that one.
I just thought of another one. I'm not going to say it out loud, of course.
Oh, all right. Very
Bob
well.
will do.
I'd like to hear it very much.
I'll tell you later.
Great. Well, how about we all enjoy a nice drink and we'll hit the road at our soonest convenience. Do you like music?
I'm certainly alright with it.
I like to play whilst I travel on an open road. So
absolutely.
I think we'll get along swimmingly then. Good.
Right. Well, if there are no further questions for me, the Story Weaver gives directions to the Fane of the Fallen Child, and waves goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Farewell.
Thank you very kindly.
Don't leave.
The Story Weaver leaves.
No one
Hey,
has
Gauge
seen
and Blur.
Bob blink once.
Story
Oh, I don't
Weaver
like that.
just. The Story Weaver just gauge and blurs away.
God.
I cast Dimension Door the fuck out of here.
Pulls a peace sign. Wow.
All right.
I kind of put my back against the wall and just sort of sink down a bit, like exhausted.
Cade sits down next to you. I think this is gonna go great.
Hey,
See,
what's up, Glum Chum?
That's the optimism we were talking about, Candle.
All right. So, is there anything anyone wants to do before they head out on their journey?
don't know.
Well, first and foremost, it's inconvenient to travel with a chest. Chester, if you'd be so kind, can you adapt a satchel, please?
Chester just climbs up your leg, and its slimy body shifts form into a satchel that you just hoist over your shoulder.
I thought you were going to say Satnav.
I absolutely put some belongings into the bag, but when I open the flap, there is just a toothy mouth that is the opening of the bag, and it's just like little tongue around there. Just put some belongings in there. Put it between the incisors. That's where it's got the most grip. Yeah, right, there you go. Pats the bag. I'm good to go whenever.
Absolutely. I look at Kit and Mason to see if they're ready.
No time like the present.
Off we
Wait,
go.
there's presents? Oh, I didn't think you'd actually get anything. Oh, I hope I got a ball.
Not that kind of present, Wind.
Do you know why they call the present the present?
Enlighten me.
Because every moment you spend in life is a gift. You can get your groans out now. There's plenty where that came from. Just be thankful I don't rhyme anymore.
You see Quinn's eyes sort of dazzle a little bit. That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Quinn.
Oh, also, when Bob was doing like the whole list and everything, Quinn was making sure the ink like noted it all down on her hand, like down her arm.
There's a little unconscious frowny face by the stay away from the frogs rule.
Yeah.
All right.
God.
You head out of the Brother Oakrest and follow the Story Weaver's directions towards a location you know only as the Fane of the Fallen Child. And as you approach, you suddenly become aware how freaking dark it is.
Oh shit! I don't have dark vision.
Yeah. For those of you who don't have dark vision, you can't see a damn thing. You do have torches if you, I believe, click on your token or right-click on it, and there's a fire. Yeah, right-click on your token, there's a fire icon, and then you can light a torch.
there we
Hold
go.
on.
There we are.
Oh, it's cute.
Aye, that's certainly better.
Ah,
I'm just getting a better look at the map.
Yeah.
oh yes.
Kit and Wind, you're fine, because you have dark vision. Everyone else is restricted to what the torchlight reveals. You continue on through it and see rain pouring down heavily in a mist-filled clearing, inside of which stands a stone circle.
Right. First lesson, just so we're on the trail together. If you see a circle of stones or mushrooms or moss or really just a circle, get a good lay of the land before you step within it. Generally a good idea not to step within it, but sometimes you have to. Just make sure you understand what kind of circle you're stepping in before you step into it.
I immediately grab Cade's hand so he doesn't wander off.
I wasn't gonna go anywhere!
It's best to make sure.
Okay.
It's like death grip on his hand.
Alright. Let me zoom out to see what you can see. Oh yeah, you can see one of these creatures.
Alright.
Those of you who can see in the dark out that far, so Kit and Wind, see a humanoid shape stumbling back and forth around the stone circle, with empty, distracted eyes, muttering to himself in what, Kit, you recognize as, like, vague mimicry of funeral rites.
Oh.
I'll describe the person to the rest of the party since they can't see him.
I see. Well, I don't see, but I see.
Well, how can you see and not see at the same time?
It's a metaphor, Wind.
I don't know why you keep calling me that. My name's Leaf.
You told me to call you Wind!
Keep it down, please.
Rightio.
Okay. So, what do we do then, Bob?
What we do is we ascertain our surroundings and adjudicate the best course of action. In this case, Bob strides forward on his goatee legs. What does the thing look like again?
The humanoid or the stone circle?
Both.
Stone circle is pretty big. You can't see what it's around because you're not close enough yet. The humanoid in question is dressed in rags, looks like they've come from the material plane, but they came from the material plane many, 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 many years ago.
We're going... Bob snaps his fingers. I remember what I forgot to tell you all. It was just a little thing, but now it reminds me that, yeah. So, raise your hands if you're not from here.
Mace raises his hand.
Elatrin are technically from the Feywild, aren't they?
Technically, yes.
Yeah, so, yeah.
In the
get one.
colonizer kind of way, sure.
Does it count if I've
That was out of character, mind you.
I know.
Does it count if I've been here for a little longer than usual?
You're going to prove a good example. Just keep your hand held up.
Alrighty.
Fairy's not exactly accommodating to folks that aren't entirely native.
And that to say, if you spend a little too long here, you'll forget to go back, and slowly you'll forget about your former life. You'll forget every little detail about who you are until you go a little, well, loose in the old tin can.
And kind of like jabs a thumb back over my shoulder.
Those little wanderers who lose the path and forget themselves tend to become rather psychically ill. It's possible to help them, but rather complicated and serious. Better altogether to just avoid them.
Okay. So we just go around?
Aye, that sounds like a good plan indeed, Leader Quinn. Counterclockwise, that would be.
You remember the story weaver saying that you had to retrieve a timepiece from the fane of the fallen child?
Where could that be?
What would I have to roll to be able to kind of figure out where that would be or look? Investigation, right?
Investigation, yes.
Okay.
1 second.
What the fuck?
So that's
I'm gonna...
a private roll of some dice. I have no idea what you rolled.
Shit. It was a 23.
I'm gonna use Flash
Could
of
I just
Genius on myself
screenshot
to
it
try
and share it
and...
with you?
Yeah, you can screenshot it, Scott, and then please set it to public roll at the bottom by the chat.
God, Flash of Genius, it begins.
Flash of Genius begins! You can Flash of Genius. It doesn't help you.
Damn it!
Alright, so 23. Leaf and or Wind, whichever one your name is right now. We are currently zoomed way in. I did not click anything, but I guess we are. Welcome to Foundry. Anyway, in the middle of the stone circle, you see 3 offering bowls, like, scattered around, each with some shiny coins and gems inside. None of them have a timepiece, but there is a singular altar in the middle of the stone circle, upon which sits a little pocket watch, and what looks to be a heart made out of mist.
Where did you say the altars?
In the center of the stone circle. So, let me just move my notes real quick. You're not supposed to see that. Click away! Motherfucker, don't look in my DM notes!
Don't worry, I pulled Discord up at the exact time.
Did I warn you about the flying spoiler birds? You got to avoid them at all costs.
They're the worst!
Look in your face and try to ruin the plot for you. It's rather annoying.
Right,
it's the frogs! The frogs spoiled it!
Fuck the frogs.
Fuck those frogs.
I can't seem to light a torch. Maybe it's because I don't have one in my inventory.
You don't have any torches in your inventory.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me drag a torch into your inventory, because I had to do that with Mason, too.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm torchless. Oops, sorry.
You should have torches now.
Well, no, I do have torches now, but I
there
didn't
we
think
go.
to go.
Oh,
Did Leaf just walk right into this stone circle?
Alright, yeah.
Did Leaf walk right into the stone
When
circle?
you have walked immediately into the stone circle. Yeah.
Bob!
Good start.
I'm like right outside of it.
You're in it.
You are in the middle of the circle, my friend.
You're in the stone circle. It's a pedestal
it's
that you can climb
horizontal
up
things.
top. But you're in it.
The circle.
Anyway.
Yeah, Bob's kind of like strafing along the edge of the stone, just kind of getting a little lay, sees another little dude and goes,
right, all sides accounted for. So, I'm going to say, what's the worst that could happen if we walk into this circle? You got Bob with you, you should be fine.
You know, I
Are you
ate the
sure?
chocolate in the shed, but I'm pretty sure you ain't supposed to say stuff like that.
Kendall!
It's
Okay.
alright, it's alright.
So, as I was trying to say,
yes.
Leaf, as you step into the stone circle and get close to the pedestal in the middle with with the heart and the pocket watch on top of it, you feel a dark, choking presence surrounding it. The air and the life around you seems to feel this same choking presence as well. All plant life around the pedestal has wilted, and there's no sign of any beast having moved anywhere close to the stone circle.
Oh, hey, death approaches. That's pretty neat.
Do we all see this?
No, Leaf is the only one who's moved close enough to feel it.
Ah, okay.
Why did he do
then.
that?
Hey, guys, check it out. Death approaches. Ain't that a thing?
And it happened when he was roughly where I'm pinging.
Okay.
Oh.
Now he's moved away, though, is it? Alright.
Now that he's moved away, he doesn't feel the presence.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. I don't feel a thing.
Rowan is
Can
gonna
you just-
step
wait,
in.
Like, death? Life? Death? Winky day.
Guys, whatever happened to the whole don't step inside the circle?
I said don't step in the circle most of the time. This could be the 10 out of 9.
Good to know.
Can I roll Arcana to see what kind of magic this is?
Sure.
Please be a good roll, please.
Oh, that is a good roll. You detect necromancy. More specifically, the presence of a pretty strong undead creature nearby. More importantly, with 27 in Arcana, you get a vague sense of its emotion, and you sense a lot of, like, grief and rage.
Okay.
Oh.
So, Rowan's gonna come back out of the circle. Okay, so, that's necrotic magic, and this
Is
some
that
sort. What?
necrotic surrounding something in particular, or just kind of suffusing the interior of the ring?
Oh no! There's something undead making it happen, and it's
Ah,
grieving and very angry.
that's something. Well, that's not uncommon. That's emotions work a little differently here in fairy than on the prime material. They're a little more intense and can take a number of forms.
I think I saw like it was in the torchlight for a brief moment when someone was looking around that there is a pedestal up there.
There is indeed a pedestal up there.
Yeah.
That's what has the pocket watch and the misty heart on it.
Oh yeah, did I forget to mention there's some little trinkets over there? Because there are some trinkets over there.
Well, I don't suppose any of you know Mage Hand, do you?
I do.
Ice, probably. You could get a little closer and try to nab it, but again, Bob's got to warn you. You got to be careful when plucking things in the Fae.
I've lived here my whole life. Of course, I know that.
Aye, certainly, lass, certainly.
Where is
Rather bold.
Mage Hand?
Okay. Mason
J-
moves
just-
back over to stay next to Kit.
Kit just give the long suffering sigh.
Bob just kind of like leans up, like folds his arms, leans up against one of the standing stones, just kind of smirking.
I had Mage Hand, and I also had Dark Vision in my spells. I don't know where-
Are they in your
prepared
spells
for
tab?
today?
Huh? There was like 3 people talking at the same time.
So, did you check your spells tab?
Yes, I'm in my spells tab right now.
Okay.
Well, Mage Hand is a cantrip.
Make sure you don't have any of the action, bonus action, reaction, or any of that clicked, because that's a filter. So if you have them clicked, unclick them, and more spells should show up.
I see neither Dark Vision nor Mage Hand in your spell list.
Nice.
If you need help, I got Mage Hand.
Damn. Okay, go for it. That's embarrassing.
Mason, really?
Oh, what? She's struggling. She could use a hand.
Yeah.
Snaps his finger.
Um,
A little Mage Hand kind of comes along. What did you want to pick up?
We need the timepiece.
Now, there's certainly an interesting question that the story weaver posed unknowingly. What really is a timepiece? The mechanical clockwork machination that ticks away measuring time? Or is it the biological timepiece that all living things have within? Thump, 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 thump.
Oh.
Kind of, he says, pointing at the heart and the clock that's on the pedestal. You got to pick wisely. Things in the Fae have multiple meanings.
I mean, can't you just take them both?
You could.
If this is the fane of the fallen child, is this its heart?
Gross.
Bob gives a playful little shrug. I'm just a
Well-
merry wanderer. I'm just here for the ride.
Well, the idea was to take it and sail the mists of time, so Kit just sort of shrugs. Heart made of mist. Who knows?
If you're telling me to grab the heart, I'm not doing that. That is disgusting. Someone else will have to take it. I'm not touching that.
It's not even your hand, Mason.
It's my mage hand. It's the same thing. Same thing to me. I feel it. I don't want it. Someone else is gonna have to touch the heart.
You do not feel through your mage hand.
I like to pretend that I do.
We're not going to unpack that ever.
Not in this lifetime or the next.
Thank you.
Well, if no one else will, I'll risk it.
It's your quest, lass. Be my guest.
I will pass off Cade to Rowan
Rhyme.
and step into the circle.
I did. It did rhyme. I told you I used to rhyme a lot.
Good.
Actually, wait.
Oh god, there's more. Okay.
Wait, actually, breaking character for a moment because I've never used this spell before. Dimension Door, does that work in just on any x-axis, so to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you click on it, you should see what it does.
Well, it's like 500 feet or something, isn't it?
500 feet in any
Yeah.
direction. If you wanted to do
Why, do you want
500
me to get
feet
there?
straight up in the air for whatever reason, you could.
You could.
No.
Not saying you should, but you could.
Whoa, wait. You think you're just going there by yourself? Is that actually what you're saying?
Well, shrugs.
Come on. Over here.
Okay.
And Leaf is going to cast Dimension Door and bring Quinn
Mhm.
with him. Casts.
Are we going up to the pedestal then?
Yes.
Oh, I collided with a wall.
Bam.
Very good. Now, how are you going to get back?
All right. You teleport through time and space and jump to the top of the pedestal by where the hang on, let me get Leaf up here too. By where the heart and the pocket watch are.
Yeah, that ain't so bad, now is it?
Alright. Brace yourself, because I have a bad feeling all these things are going to turn on us once I touch this.
That ain't so bad.
I will grab the heart.
You put your hands on the heart, and I'm going to ask everyone to stay where they are for right now, so that I don't have to mess
Sure.
with positioning shenanigans. All right.
Uh-oh.
as you grab the heart, Quintessa, it starts beating. Pum, 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 in your hand, and even though it is made of mist, you can feel it. The rain that you have seen falling around you, next to you stops as if it's raining on some kind of invisible figure. Mist swiftly coalesces around it into the form of a large phantasm, void of life, but with
hey, you made friends.
staring with glowing eyes at you. The choking presence grows ever stronger as it stares directly into you.
I step back.
Return the heart, it grunts.
Oh, I've seen this episode of Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Wait,
I don't know what that is.
is this the timepiece I need?
Return the heart, it says, angrier.
I'm
Ah, you might want to do what it says, lass. You might want to Return the heart.
I
Ask if you can
put
have
it-
the timepiece instead.
Could I have the other object if I put this down?
Return. Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
I'll-
think that's exactly gonna work.
I'll put it back down.
You put the heart back down, and the beating slows down. Who are you?
Quinn.
The creature stares through you. The choking, annihilating presence continuing to weigh down on everything. Your body,
Jesus.
your soul, your heart itself. But since you're not in combat right now, you're doing alright, but it hurts like a motherfucker in the meantime.
Mhm.
Why take what is mine?
There's some place I need to be.
Where?
What was it called again? Out of character, what was it
Out of
called?
character. Good question. You were looking for the Mists of Time.
That, yeah. It's the Mr. Time.
Why take what is mine?
I need a timepiece to get there. I'm sorry if that's not it.
Timepiece. A watch before you. And you take my heart!
Okay, to my credit, I'm a writer. I have to look into things literally.
Bob looks back at Kit with a little smile and says, "We're all going to die."
Kit just nods. We are.
That will be fun.
Leaf looks at Quinn and says, "We are going to die."
Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You think to apologize as if it excuses your hatred.
I am new here. I am not accustomed to your ways. I'm sorry I offended. It will not happen again.
No, it will not. And he looks about ready to choke the life out of you unless you can come up with a very good argument for him not to.
Fuck if I know! Well, wait!
Bob holds up a single finger and just goes, and actually, for the first time, steps into the circle. And holds a finger and goes, "A word, fine misty fellow."
Speak.
Which is saying that his voice has not changed volume, but it still carries all the way across the circle.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Do I have the Miss Thing's attention?
You do have its attention.
Bob gives a little bow at the waist and reaches under his shirt, pulls out a little
amulet, a little talisman that has a very strange, almost like how do I describe this like IRL terms? It's like a Celtic knot kind of looking pattern in the formation of what looks like it may be some kind of like sun, and says, "I do most sincerely apologize, fine inhabitants of this domain. I'd like to give you my humblest apologies for the behavior of the mortals with which I'm leading through your domain. On behalf of my benefactor," which says that with primarily flashing the medallion at this fey entity. "They are under my protection and by extension hers as well. So, mayhaps I can make amends. I'm rather good at doing that."
You have no power here, slave of the Summer Court.
I don't consider myself a slave, more like an indentured servant. But that's true. I don't have power here. Well, I have power, but not to the naming extent with which I could force your very being to dissipate into nothingness if I so willed it. But that's not where we are, and that's not how it's going to happen. So, I propose something else entirely. Without them being, let's say, killed for their transgressions, what can old Bob do to make amends for this little miscarriage of intentions?
Offering bowls. Mine. You wish to take. Now you will give.
Death. That seems fair enough. Kind of like looks over at Quinn and in the tabaxi. Kev, what do you desire then, friend?
Kev, he says, getting more and more impatient.
You best give him something, dear, or else he might lose his lead.
Like what?
I don't know. You have something, Kev.
What would you like?
Are you this awkward all the time?
Surprisingly, yes. I found out recently.
Out of character, is there anything in the offering bowls already?
Yes, in the offering bowls already, there are like piles of coins and gems. In one of them, there's actually a rope alongside of them, but mostly it's money.
I'll throw a gold piece in then.
Well, I mean, if you want,
you throw a single gold piece into the offering bowl.
Aren't
if you
you?
wanted, all you had to do was ask. I mean, yeah, and
aren't you the generous type?
You would patronize me so.
I mean, what do you want?
Give him more. Bob, for the first time, his voice actually gets louder and goes, "Give him more money, you fuckhead."
Okay. All right, I will put. I barely have any as it is. I'll 30 gold in there.
He is not satisfied.
Oh, for the
How much does this guy want?
Give.
Fine. Do you want all my money then?
Give.
I put all my money in bar the 1 platinum I have.
How much is all your money?
151 gold and 34 copper.
Okay.
Yes.
You place gold down in the offering bowl. The phantom slowly starts slowing his breathing. I said slowly twice, fucking deal with it. And then turns to leave.
Give.
Oh, well, I mean, if you wanted something, all you had to do was ask. Yeah, here you go. And he just kind of puts a bottle of whiskey in the bowl. No need to thank me. It's the least I can do.
It is very unimpressed by the offering of whiskey.
Fine. It was worth a shot. And he just puts his gold in the pot.
All right. The phantom seems satiated. And then it turns to Bob.
You want?
And gestures vaguely to the pedestal.
Hey, Bob saunters a bit closer forward. Hey, we have our needs of some belongings in your grove. What would be a fair assessment of which we can make for I to acquire it?
And you are completely unsurprised when the phantom says, "Give."
Give? We say it at the same time. Give? Alright, fair enough. Bob kind of scrambles and hops up. Oh, that's a wall.
I think it might all be a wall.
Yeah.
How dare you present me with a wall? There we go.
All right. Give. It's always give and never take.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. So real quick, Alex.
So I would like to have when I was climbing up, I would like to have cast Mislead on myself.
Okay.
And as per the spell,
I become invisible at the same time that an illusory double of myself appears where I was standing, in this case where I was climbing. So Illusion Bob saunters on over next to the Mist Boy and is basically, and I can talk through this illusion. I can do a whole bunch of things. But I'm just like, and Bob just being like, it's just old Gav, never take. By the way, what name should I refer to you? It's rude for us to enter your home and not address you by a proper title, my friend.
She took it from me.
Nameless, you have my dearest condolences. To be reduced to a nameless is, well, it's nothing short of a tragedy. How long ago did you lose your name, my friend?
Time. Hard to tell.
Then date it is.
Perhaps.
Well, it's a good thing you got that little clock right there.
Useless.
Which, hey.
Track days.
Hey, just merely the seconds therein. Understood. While Illusion Bob is talking, Real Bob. This is a risky move, but I would like to attempt it. Real Bob is currently casting Magic Circle around the Fey being. And that takes a minute to cast. So Bob's just having conversation. And I would like to, because misleads to concentration, Magic Circle is not. So it's like casting process while I have this concentrating on, and as soon as like I finish casting the spell, mislead will end because I can't I can't cast 2 concentration spells, but I can cast a concentration in a regular. Okay, cool. So that's taking a minute to cast, and I'm specifically casting Magic Circle to be the one that locks him out, and he is unable to move outside of the circle that I am summoning around him to trap Fey, undead, any of the attached types within. And so that's what I'm doing. So I feel like Bob successfully converses with this thing for a minute.
That's been a minute, yeah.
Cool. Then I pop Magic Circle so that the glyphs activate, the very kind of like glowing with like warm, radiant, summer-like energy that have like Celtic Sylvan runes around them. That is now should surround the creature. And I hope, my friend. And then
you send it in the chat, please.
Oh yes, of course. My bad. Yep.
All right.
Nice.
So you just chose all of the creatures. Cool.
Yeah, I chose all the creatures because I can, just to cover all the bases.
Great, because if you chose Fae, it would not have worked.
Yes, so I did all. I figured it was undead, but I'm giving it all the bases. So yes, it is. It is in reverse direction, so it cannot leave the cylinder for as long as the spell is up.
Wow.
Nice.
And so I summon this Magic Circle, and just go, and I will drop Mislead, so I appear on the other side from where I originally was.
Hey, terrible business. You have my apologies, friend. But unfortunately, we need to get going. I'll leave some money in your pot just to make up for this transgression, but we don't want to have to fight you. Sorry for the loss of your name. Which one do we need?
Kind of like gesturing at the timepiece in the heart.
So looking back at the notes, like the creature is trapped, but it doesn't seem bothered at all by the Magic Circle. Like he didn't insult it at all by putting it in the Magic Circle.
Yeah. I didn't insult it. I'm just preventing it from getting out to attack us.
Yeah.
Mists of time require time. Didn't think this was a hard puzzle.
Fucking hell! Sorry!
To be fair, I'm the one who overcomplicated it. And then, to be fair, I knew it was the watch all this time. I just wanted to see what she would do.
Oh, well, thanks for getting us into this mess, then.
Oh, you're very welcome. Grabs the pocket watch, looks over it, and like, all right.
If it is so possible, my friend, this will be a return to you once this endeavor is complete.
I toss the little pocket watch over to Quintessa. I give him like a little gracious bow, and I say,
I always apologize for outsmarting people, but it was a good game all the same.
All right. And
Yep.
you hop down, pocket watch in hand.
Joke's on him. I don't have any money to give, so we would have been fucked either way. So this is good.
Well, it's not like I gave him that much to begin with.
So, Candle.
Yeah?
Bad news. I can't pay you now.
So I can leave?
No, I can pay you an installment of this one platinum piece I have, and you can stay. I pass him the piece.
That'll cover about 2 days, and then I'll leave.
I have no money left.
Wow.
Oh, fuck my life.
All right. Pocket watch in hand, you regroup, and you gather and head away from the fane of the fallen child.
Why didn't I not pay an installment?
All right. So, you keep on traveling down the path, and before you lies a great forest of dead and dying trees standing over a thick, misty bog. A quick look into the forest shows that there is no end in sight, and you consider yourselves lucky to even have a beginning to look at.
Stop it.
You don't know for how long you look. Is it minutes? Is it seconds? Is it no time at all? But before long, your eyes are drawn to a handmade stand nearby, which is run by a dark-skinned humanoid. A hand-painted sign proudly proclaims that the stand sells canoes, which you can see lined up along a rack behind the man.
Good to know. Well, I'm not paying for that.
Alrighty.
You all continue to stare into the misty bog for an eternity.
Well, I suppose we need something to sail on, unless anyone else had any bright ideas.
Rowan shrugs.
We could always just jump into the river and see where it takes us, but most of us are more predisposed to such a lifestyle than others.
It's a bit stagnant for that.
Eh, that it is. If you watch long enough, you'll see that boulder get smoothened out, but that might be a little longer than you wish to stay here for.
Nothing like some meditation to pass the time.
You're not exactly fond of that either.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Let's go look at the canoes.
Alright. You head over to the stand, and immediately the man running it perks up. Ah, hello there, my friends! I take it you are interested in some canoes!
I hate you. I hate you. I'm leaving. I hate you.
I was waiting for it. I'm so happy.
I'm so confused.
I hate you. I'm leaving.
You just gotta get a canoe.
Canoe. Canoe.
Canoe?
Alex, TOA is dead and buried. Yeah, you had to bring in something back.
Oh,
Good
okay.
shit. Okay.
I am too powerful to die!
Well, it's because you have a
Canoe?
Canoe. Next thing you're gonna tell me is that there's gonna be a boar genocide coming up.
Oh no, it's
that
not the
before
boars you need. It's not the boars you need to watch out for, it's the frogs.
Ah, the frogs.
30 to 50 feral frogs.
What's the going rate for a canoe, friend?
Ah, yes. Canoes! Canoes go for 50 gold each.
I have to say, I've only been in this part of Ferry for a while now, and it's exhausting that people actually use currency here.
That
It's
it is.
just terrible.
I, however, really like currency. It brings me comfort in these dark times.
I mean, I suppose most others don't want to deal with memories or names of firstborn children, but it's fine. All right, someone fork the cost. Bob got the locket, therefore someone can get the boat.
How many people does each canoe seat?
6. He looks over at Cade. Maybe 7 if you squeeze him in.
He can sit on my lap.
That sounds weird.
I don't care.
was even worse.
You say Mason.
You can sit on my lap,
Halfsies.
Quinn, if you want. And she taps her legs.
I'm not that small.
I mean, compared to me, you are, yes.
Mason, what do you say? Halfsies.
Sure, that'll be fine.
Cool. Kit forks over 25.
All right. You fork over some money, and the canoe vendor, picks one of the canoes, holds it out for you, puts it on the ground. You can push that to the water side yourself. Is this your first time traveling the Mist of Time?
Yes?
More or less.
Well, lucky for you, free of charge with the canoe, you get to know the riddle that those who sail the Mist of Time use to figure out which way to go.
Oh.
I'll copy and paste it and have it ready for your notes if you have them.
You're the best. How long? How long is the journey to wherever the fuck it is we're going?
You do not measure time in the Mist of Time.
Well, of course not. Would you mind providing a standard unit of measurement?
I can provide a riddle.
Oh, yeah.
I do like riddles.
Good enough. Kit already has like a fucking notebook open and pen.
All right. Let me just find a place to copy and paste it down. Here we go. When the sun or moon is high in the sky, we go from whence Boreas blows. When they dip below the horizon, we go which way shall shun that same keep of the wild wind. As the sun rises, we sail for the encircling sea. Yet as it sets, we sail for the city of jewels if we must, and the city of brass if not.
Wunderbar.
Where is that being copy and pasted?
Yeah.
If there was one note that you could look at, you might be able to look at it there.
I can't read.
Character I
Oh,
don't know how to
I'm not
use
in the one
program.
Well, I should copy and paste it in a chat program. Do you taste
I
Papa?
can send you.
Well, look, we don't want to cause discord here.
This game.
Delayed reaction, but I got it all the same. Right.
Took a second.
When the sun or moon is high in the
there it is.
sky, we go from whence. Well, Boreas is the northern lights, I assume.
Yeah.
That's north. So we go from the north, and then they dip below the horizon. You know, for somebody who used to speak, riddles aren't my thing. I spoke in rhymes when I was younger. This is new to me. I'm not a riddle guy. I'm a rhyming guy. I'm a mischief guy, not a riddle guy.
So, both I and Kit would know what the City of Brass is, but are different planes associated with different cardinal directions?
Make an Arcana check.
Cool.
Can I use my intelligence to decipher this?
You can, in fact, use intelligence to get a hint on the riddle. Oh, damn! Yes. So, natural 20 natural 20 Arcana. Kit, while the elemental planes in reality don't have, directions, when put in, art, they're typically represented in a given direction. The elemental plane of Earth, where the City of Jewels is east. And south is the relative direction of the City of Brass in the elemental plane of Fire.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing a tapestry once with the elemental chaos on it. Hey. Well, north, but okay, encircling sea, that's the way, and directions don't have much meaning where I'm from, so maybe you should handle this one.
Well, it seems like all the directions are covered, at least. Boreas north, City of Brass south, City of Jewels east, which the encircling sea would presumably be left for west. So we just follow Kit sort of looks up. Is there a sun or a moon visible in the sky?
No.
Can I roll
that
my
is where the
intelligence?
that's where the timepiece comes in.
You can roll your intelligence, Mason. You, however, got
That's
a 9,
hilarious.
so fuck if you know.
That's hilarious.
Well,
I love that.
Can I roll
Well,
intelligence?
the sun or
can
the
roll
moon
intelligence.
being high in the sky would probably be noon or midnight. Correspondingly, dips would be sunset, rises would be sunrise. Same with the moon, so that is where our lovely pocket watch comes in.
So, as Kit's saying all of this out loud, Rowan, that makes perfect sense to you. You should be following the direction your pocket watch is pointing in order to know which way to sail.
Ah.
Leaf has no reason to be making an intelligence check. He just wants to think about this because everyone else is thinking about it.
Alright.
Right.
Ability check.
Well, what time is it now?
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah.
He has no idea where he even is right now.
He's
Man,
just blinking one
Terry's
eye
having
at
a bad time, Leaf!
Oh, come on, dude. Come on, man. It's not so bad. We're on a boat right now. It's great.
Alright. The pocket watch is currently still. You are at the edge of the mists and not in them right now.
Wouldn't hurt to try.
Well, might as well get this pushed over into the water.
Right. You heave the canoe into the water and it lands with a swoosh. And you all gather, packing inside. Kate is kind of squished in the middle because he is a tiny, tiny halfling and can fit in someone else's space. And slowly, you drift into the mist along the foul and stagnant waters. The pocket watch spins wildly, and then eventually starts slowing down and settling, pointing to 12 o'clock.
Right, so north from here.
You sail north. You don't know for how long. The pocket watch spins wildly again.
Speaking as the party's warlock, considering sailing around, the mists of time and time has no meaning here, it's entirely unreasonable to ask for a short rest while I'm sitting on this boat.
It is entirely unreasonable.
Really? Okay, that sucks, but I'll keep going.
Mm-hmm. All right. Time both is always going and not going in the midst of time. It's a land of fuck you, basically.
That's some bullshit right there.
It's also where the frogs are from, so you know it's bullshit.
Oh, well, let's explain. Okay, I'm on board with why this place sucks.
I'm assuming because of how foggy it is. Just humor me with how foggy it is. We can't even see our shadows at all on the water.
Oof. Well, with us, kind of setting sail, Mace kind of takes out his lute. It's like, so Bob, do you like to play music?
I do. I've played a fair amount in my time. I've always been a bit more of a novice than a professional in the matter. It's more of a hobby. But I could provide some ambient tunage if they're looking for something to pass away the lack of time.
Sure. If you want to lead, I'll follow. And he kind of like...
Oh, you're a musician. Don't cramp my style. I pull out panpipes and, I'll play some panpipes.
Mace will kind of play the dulcimer, some of like the lower tones of the dulcimer underneath the pipes.
Oh, that's properly haunting. I like it.
And as you play, Leaf, you notice that it's so misty in here you cannot see your shadow on the water.
Aww. Where'd you go, Terry? Aww. Guys, I think we lost Terry.
I have a question that feel free to not answer. I'm just curious. Who is Terry? Is Terry a friend like Chester, but I can't see Terry? I've had invisible friends before. I like to ascertain the quality of my company.
Oh, that's an easy one. You see, Terry's my shadow. He's a good friend of mine. A bit of a weirdo, but he's a good dancer. Very good dancer. But between you and me, I think he might have a few screws loose.
Me blinked. Are you a fucking Echo Knight?
no, I'm a Fey Wanderer.
Oh. Okay,
Ew.
okay, I'm with it. This is some Peter Pan shit. I'm kind of into this.
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, hi. Oh, well, it's a little too heavy for shadows, but, hello, Teddy. Teddy's not
Hello.
going to try to kill us in our sleep, is he?
Oh, I don't think so. He's a good guy. He's a bit of
Ah.
a ruder, but he's a good guy.
Well, fair enough. Onward we sail through the lack of time.
All right. You continue playing a merry tune. The timepiece goes wild again and points to 9 o'clock. You look up, and it looks like trees and bark and whatnot have actually started making obstacles. There are paths leading east and west.
Presumably, this isn't a 24-hour pocket watch.
You don't see a 24-hour. You don't see 24 hours. It is, it's a 12-hour.
Okay.
The sun rises in the east.
As the sun rises, we sail for the encircling sea. Yet as it sets, we sail for the jewels if we must, and the city of brass if not. So, there is a path to the west, and there is a path to the city of jewels. We don't need to sail east, so presumably we would be sailing west at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Someone feel free to interrupt me if they think I'm wrong.
Sounds about right to me.
Hmm.
If what I'm getting from this puzzle is correct. Because a part of my brain was like, do we follow it like a compass, or do we implore the information that we have and kind of like get? Because if it's 9 o'clock, then the moon would be up, which
Yeah.
Well, there's no sun or moon, so
yeah, no sun or moon. Yeah, let's head west.
All right.
Okay.
We'll go west.
West.
West. You sail off to the west. And you keep on sailing, and you keep on sailing, and you keep on sailing.
You sure I can't get a short rest yet?
My character's been sleeping this whole time.
I don't like what that said.
Don't like what said?
What said?
Never mind.
It's fine.
There's a joke in there, I'm sure.
Yeah. And as you sail, you start hearing the croaking of frogs.
Oh,
Fudge.
shite. Oh,
Fuck.
shite.
Hey, quick question. You
Hey?
you weren't serious about them bully fellas, were you?
Oh, my friend. I was dead serious.
That's what I was afraid of.
Couldn't have been more serious about anything in my life.
That's what I was afraid of.
Hey.
Right?
Well,
has the watch changed?
The watch has not changed. Quintessa.
Yeah?
The ribbiting gets louder and louder, and you look for the source, and find yourself staring into the face of a frog as large as a man. Let me just move him down here so you can see him.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Oh!
I
Oh,
thought
look
I
at
thought they'd be
him.
like the size of cats or something, but like a
No, these are man-sized frogs.
Nobody look at the frog.
Yeah,
Look,
listen,
Quintessa, you're looking at the frog.
Listen to
Can I look away from the
directly away
No.
from it.
No, look
No,
away
you
from
find
the
yourself
frog.
entranced by the frog, and as it
covers
rivets,
Quintessa's eyes.
you find yourself with a splitting headache.
Oh. Oh.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
Bob just very quietly in the bushes. I wondered about the frogs.
We wonder about the frogs.
Where are the
I wondered about
saves?
the frogs.
I'll start turning us around.
The save. Let me pull up a character sheet to look.
Wait, is that like on the right side of the things?
Yeah, it's on the right side. So, yeah, left is regular bonus, right side is the save.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, I just saw what he cast. Fuck.
Oh.
You successfully ward off the frog as its ribbiting echoes throughout your brain, and you shake it off. And right as you do so, the frog descends into the water.
But I still take the damage.
Yes, you still take the damage.
All right.
So, quick word of advice there. No.
I feel sick.
You look at the frogs. I told you not to look at the frogs.
I had no idea he was right next to me.
Yeah.
How do you always like this?
And as you argue, you sail and you find yourself in a break of the mist. And then you hear, "Ah, welcome back, my friends. Did you enjoy the canoe? Oh, wait, sorry, the canoe."
I see that we have made an error in our judgment.
Indeed. So, I suppose. Yes. We go east that time then. Alright.
Seems like
Off we go.
Sounds good. Sounds
You
good.
sigh, turn the canoe around, and sail. You go back north, that direction hasn't changed, and you get to the intersection and sail east this time.
Yes.
Quintessa, like, just hands through hair, just muttering to herself, for the sake of efficiency and all this, and the fact that I can't say names for the rest of this journey, I'm going to call you, love, Imp. I swear to God, Imp, this better be all fucking worth it. You are so dead when I get to you.
Are you alright?
No, I'm not all right, Mason.
Okay, alright. You're fine. Okay.
That's the spirit.
You continue sailing on. The timepiece once more freaks out. Points to 12 again.
Okay.
Alright, so north.
Cute.
North.
You continue sailing to the north and find yourself in front of a large metal gate in the middle of the bog. It's got a lock on it. The lock is on your side. And as you look at the gate, hear someone call, excuse me, stop, please, for the love of God, stop! And you look up, and a canoe sails up from the other side of the gate, carrying what look to be you all.
Who's the person who called out
Quintessa.
Oh, fuck off! Why?
When I see when I look at where I'm sitting on that canoe, do I see me or do I see what I'm currently in form as?
You are currently in the form that you are currently in, so you are not you. So what you look like right now in your boat is what the other you looks like in the other you's boat.
I flash my eyes to blue. Does his eyes change to blue?
His
You didn't even
eyes
see his
flash
fucking
to
eyes.
green.
Oh, shit.
His eyes stay green?
His eyes flash green and then flash blue.
I thought the astral plane was a nightmare, but this is taking it way too far.
Oh, dearie. Like, Bob, like, pats her on the back. The astral plane is small potatoes compared to the sheer amount of fuckery that happens here.
So what's happening here?
I have
Right,
no idea.
that's enough of that. I have no time to explain. I've explained this 20 times. You're going to need this. And the other Quintessa throws over a key, a rope, and a pulley.
Catches.
Would you kindly open the door?
I assume you've been stuck in a wheel, so to speak, circle.
Yes, at least 20 times.
Okay, fair. We'll open the door, Quinn.
All right. You are the one that has the key to open the door.
I'll open the door.
All right. You open the door. The other Quintessa sighs. Fucking finally! Let's go! And they sail south.
Is that what I sound like?
Yes.
Oh, all the
Oh.
time. It must be exhausting.
What do they call it nowadays? Stereo?
Wow, I am surprised my husband stuck around as long as he did.
You look at your own timepiece. It is pointing to 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Directions you can go are south after the other U, north through the gate, or west.
Oh, well... Fuck. I guess through the gate?
Through the gate is north.
Yeah.
It is not pointing to a time that would be north. So south would
We can't go east,
be
is the thing.
as the sun rises. As it sets, we set sail for the city jewels if we must, city of brass if not. Presumably.
Does anyone want to make an intelligence check?
Yes, please.
Yeah, go for it,
Because I was
someone.
kind of thinking, if we are, so if it was at 9 before and east was the right answer for that, do you think that west would be the right answer for?
Yeah, could be
Three?
opposites.
Mace, that sounds exactly correct.
Hey!
Oh, good job!
Jordan, I have good news.
What?
Present me your face. Present me your face, you fool.
Yes, my face. What
I will
would you
now
like?
scoop the egg off of your face.
Oh, the egg's off my face. What
The
is
egg
this?
is finally off his face.
The over easy egg that I claimed from this morning. It's
Oh,
not
and-
free.
And Jordan, guess what else?
What?
You're being followed.
Eat shit. Mason relays the information to the group. I think we should go west.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
Yes.
good to me.
We
All
said
right.
it.
Just where it is. That's exactly how boats move.
That's
You-
not a good
You
place.
sail alongside the gate and head west. The timepiece speaks out again. Points to 12.
Forward, north.
Is north an option?
North is an option.
I think it's enough. Yep.
I say we
I
go
know,
north.
Okay.
right? Yeah, north we go.
Alright, let's go.
All right. You come to another east-west junction. The timepiece points to 3 o'clock.
This is some Monkey Island bullshit.
Monkey.
Island of monkeys.
How dare you? How dare you accuse me of lifting a puzzle wholesale from Escape from Monkey Island? How fucking dare you, sir? You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Now that we're at the path again, you said it was on 3.
You know.
It's on 3, yes.
Okay, I look up.
East or west?
Which Monkey Island?
Is the sun and the moon up at all? Like, has anything changed up there?
There is no sun or moon in the sky.
No sun or moon, no ball of anything in the sky.
No ball, anything in the sky. It's just mist and trees.
Looks like we should go west.
I guess we're
All
going
right.
west.
All right. You head west. You come to a north-south junction. The timepiece is pointing to 6 o'clock.
South.
Sooth.
Sooth.
Well, still.
All right.
Okay.
You continue sailing south. In the distance, you see a large metal gate in the middle of the bog. On the other side of it is a canoe with all of you in it.
They're still there.
Welcome back, old friends.
How's it travels?
Mace, the mace in the other canoe looks at you. His eyes flash blue.
I think you need to divulge yourself of the key, the rope, and the pulley.
Oh.
Sow the seeds that you plan to reap in the future.
Bruh.
I respond back by, I flash green for a second, and then to blue, and then back to the color.
All right. As you do so, the other Quintessa says, I thought the astral plane was a nightmare. And Bob replies, oh, no, don't you worry, dearie. The astral plane is small potatoes compared to the Feywild.
Oh, I hate you. Oh, hi. Yes. I said fucking a lot, didn't I? Whatever.
Yes.
Take this.
So that's what you say? You say, whatever, take this?
Take the fucking thing. I don't care.
And open the gate, please.
Yeah, open the gate with this.
Kit like
No, 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 no.
thaumaturgies his own voice. Oh.
So, Kit, you speak up with thaumaturgy?
Well, if Quintessa's just gonna keep flustering, yes.
The mists coalesce around you, and they part.
You...
Welcome back, my friends! Are you still enjoying the
Are you
canoe?
fucking kidding me?
You know, this is a neat little potty trick, but I,
No, fuck, I'm done. I need
We'll take
With her.
notes next time,
she just-
Quintessa, I guess.
What's that? Fuck all of you! I cannot do this anymore!
Did she just get out of the boat?
I think she did.
Did she just walk off into the mist?
She'll be back.
Yeah, you'll see.
No,
has a
she'll
bigger
be back. She doesn't have the timepiece. She'll be back.
Bob like nods sagely and just says, "I thought she would be." Hey, well, I have to say, I've known some pretty bad tempers in my lifetime. She definitely takes the cake, and if you knew who I worked for, that's saying something.
As everyone starts looking off at Quintessa, Terry just starts doing a little jig.
Oh, your shadow is dancing. That's very
The
cool.
moment that you say that, he stops.
What?
Well, I'm sorry to offend. Your shadow was dancing, now it stopped.
So he was?
Yeah.
I didn't even... Huh. What do you know about that?
You know, we
Bob,
could
Bob
just...
takes out an apple and like holds it in the light so he can get the shadow of the apple on the ground, and then like angles it to like throw the apple in just a direction, but where it looks like the apple is being like tossed over in the direction at the shadow. The shadow of the apple looks like it's being tossed at the shadow of
given
him.
to the shadow,
I want to see
yeah.
what happens. I kind of like underhand toss. So the shadow of the apple gets underhand tossed to Terry. I want to see what happens.
Wait, I'm sorry, I zoned out for a bit. What's happening?
Let me line this out for you even more explicitly. I have an apple. I'm going to throw the apple. I am throwing it in a way that the shadow of the apple will impact with the shadow with your shadow. Like I'm underhand tossing Terry an apple. It's the shadow of an
I
apple.
see.
I'm seeing if
Okay.
he'll take a shadow apple.
Okay.
Shadow apples in the Muscaban.
If
Good.
everyone is looking at the shadow, then once the apple hits the ground, nothing happens. Like it just
Disappointing.
That's a bit sad. But
That was a perfectly good apple. You just didn't take it? That was rude.
maybe I'll come around. Maybe I'll
Apples
come
are
around.
all evil.
I mean, yeah, some of them, some are not. I've heard stories about them being poisoned, but what do they know?
Aye. What do they know indeed?
and the moment everyone looks away, Terry just starts like he looks to the left, looks to the right, and starts munching the shit out of the apple.
Damn. This is some Basha Narada shit. Okay. God.
I don't speak Italian.
Oh, there she is, coming back through the mist. Someone forgot the timepiece.
Welcome back there.
You cooled down a little bit?
How was
good
your
to
walk
go.
through the time mists? I would say you're wasting our time, but you quite literally can't here.
I'll take notes next time around on whatever it is future you says, so that past you can tell present you to keep to it.
This is making my head hurt.
This is absolute bullshit.
Is whatever you're trying to find out here worth it, dearie?
It can't be that big a deal.
I will keep my journal at hand so I can write it down as well.
All right, well, have it your way. Continue onward.
All right.
Off we go.
So since you basically figured out the directions part of the puzzle,
Please, thank God.
Thanks.
I will fast forward as to you sailing up to the gate that has the lock on your side,
Mm-hmm.
and you see in the distance, future you's canoe sailing up to the gate on their side.
Do they say anything?
You can hear Quintessa muttering, "This is such bullshit." and they get
Hey,
to
is
the
anyone getting the strangest sense of deja vu?
they get to the other side of the gate and are now looking directly at you. The other Mason flashes his eyes blue.
Ah, we're doing this again. Flashes the eyes blue. It's like a call and response at this point.
The other Quintessa groans angrily. Figure out this fucking puzzle, she says, just tossing haphazardly. A rope, a pulley, and a key. Over to you.
Thanks.
Could you open the door?
Yes.
And you open the door, the other Quintessa says, thanks. And they sail off south.
What? Thanks. Yeah. Didn't have to go that hard. All right.
All right.
Just keep fucking go. I'm sorry. I'm so mad.
You sail the same directions you sailed before. And get to the other side of the gate, seeing past you on their side.
I wait for the eye flash. This is such bullshit.
Mason.
Flash the eyes.
The other Mason flashes his eyes back.
We didn't say anything else, did we?
I think
Kit sighs. Kit, like, no, he wants to open up his journal, but he can't because he didn't see himself do it. Never mind.
Oh no!
No, I'm just. I was saying it to myself, but
Oh, I see.
All
This
right.
is okay.
I get the key. Figure out this fucking puzzle.
What order do you toss them in?
The right one, please.
Do you remember?
Yes.
I gave a specific order.
I'm calling Monkey Island to sue you.
She threw it after.
It was the rope, the pulley, and the key, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. You throw over the rope, the pulley, and the key in that order. The other Quintessa says, "Yes, thank you," and unlocks the door.
Wasn't I supposed to say something before that? I don't remember. I was supposed to say, could you open the door?
I will let that pass. I will let that pass because that was on me.
Thank you.
The door is open.
Thanks.
All right. What direction do you sail?
Oh, I hate this already. I'm getting off this fucking boat. No.
I don't know. I don't fucking care anymore.
What does the clock say?
What does the fox say?
The clock says 9. Obvious directions to go are north, south, and west.
Well, maybe because we're on the other side of the gate, it's changed.
I think south, because that's the way they sailed the other times, right?
Bob gives a light little chuckle, leans back on the canoe, folds his arms beneath his head, and says, "Oh, you're all doing so good. Just wake me up when we're actually there."
We said as the sun sets, we sail for the city of jewels if we must, which would be west, and the city of brass if not, which would be south. So, my vote is south.
Which direction is the watch pointing at?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. If it was at 9 o'clock
Anything.
before, and 9 o'clock
Yeah.
meant east.
But east is not an option.
Yeah, but
That's
we're on the
right,
other
east-
side of the gate, so maybe it's west
East is
now.
not an option. Is it just like stuff in the way, or is it like land?
Several like obstacles throughout the mist that would make it a course that's basically not feasibly solvable without breaking the canoe.
Okay. Because a part of me wondered, it's like, what if we just get off? What if we get off here? But no.
All right.
I'll vote with Kit. Sticking with Kit.
Which was south?
South.
South.
All right.
Okay.
You sail southward through the gate, past the other you. And the mists slowly start parting. Alright, I'm just going to read the notes out real quick.
Okay.
The mists clear up, even if the rain does not. Finally, you see a way out of the bog. Sailing along, you find yourself and your canoe in the middle of a large pool of water. Strangely, as you look back, the mist behind you is gone, as if there was no path there to begin with. Looking forward, once again, you note the horrid smell of swamp gas. The worst that you have ever smelled before.
Oh.
I see what that says. I don't like it.
You don't like what, Scott?
Oh, ooh. I will kind of like pull my shirt up to cover my nose. Let me just zoom out. Okay, so we need to find somewhere to land.
I lack permission to update tokens and
Yeah, that's what mine said.
Yeah, same thing for me. I like permission to update tokens.
I just like to see. Can I move?
I
Okay,
like.
I can still move.
I like.
Yeah, where are we gonna? Which way did we head in? Was it left or right?
You headed in from up top.
Okay. All right, let me turn my torch on real quick.
Well, what say we get to some more solid ground?
Yeah.
Mason begins to kind of trudge through.
Well,
All
we're
right.
still in the canoe, so
Oh yeah, we are still in the canoe. Okay.
Yeah, so we all have to go together.
I cast Mage Hand, but a little hand to just
Push
help
the
guide
canoe.
us a little bit towards land.
And as you start moving south in your canoe, the water starts to bubble and groan.
Oh shit.
And then there's a big ol' splash. And rising from the water is a hulking giant figure with long ears and like pustules of green and purple all over his body, breathing heavily and staring down at you.
Oh, hey, it's another friend.
Well, this is braving the toxic gas.
And here is where we're going to end our session because we do not have the time to run combat right now.
All right.
Oh.
So, we'll see what the drowning pool does next time.
All right.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining us in today's Fallen Empires. It is good to be back. Tuesday, there will also be a stream. Thursday, there will also be a stream. Friday's Call of Cthulhu. Sunday, no one tells me what happens on Sundays anymore. But we hope to see you for more. And for those of you on Twitch, there'll be a post show in a couple of seconds after I say goodbye. Goodbye!
Bye.
Bye, guys.